All right, all right. This is a sit down lesson number one of the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. That's going to be the title of the sit down lesson as of January the 30th, 2026, on this Friday afternoon. So, with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Karkadash, and the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and his unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are their true names in ancient Paleo Hebrew. The lost one, Gosh, the Holy Tongue. We say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Akim, Akwa. And I say Shalom. And as I mentioned again, this is a quick sit down lesson. Sit down lesson number one of Matthew's 24 verse 6. You know, as we've been seeing the rise in tensions, this modern day wars and rumors of wars, especially Iran versus Israel defense wars and Iran versus the United States. So we've been seeing this been heating up. And this has been the latest topic, been increasing on a daily basis. So Iran versus Israel have been heating up. Iran, the United States has been heating up as well too. So I'm getting to that Matthew's 20. Oh man, I ain't trying to exit that out. It's a lot. Let's see if I can go right back to it. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up this news article, and then first I'm gonna bring up that Matthew's 24 and verse 6. Then I'm gonna read some more about this recent news article from RT.com. And this is all right. This is the book of Matthew's 24 and verse 6. It reads, it says, "Ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right, this is what Yahweh Shai spoke to the disciples during their times, which they later became apostles. And he spoke to them about the upcoming increasing wars and rumors of wars that was mentioned during his times. Now, that's being mentioned these times as well, too. So we're going to be seeing the rising, increasing of these wars and rumors of wars. And this is a news article that I want to bring out from RT.com as of January the 30th, 2026. And it reads, is that Trump's armada of issues warning to Tehran. It says that the U.S. Central Command is worried about Iran's naval drills, right? Because I believe they started to go underway their Navy drills over there in the Persian Gulf and over there in the Middle East as well too. Last time I checked, the U.S. military has issued. It says the U.S. Central Command is worried about Iran's naval drills, right? What's that? Joel 3 verse 10. Let the weak say I'm strong. It says the U.S. Central Command is worried about Iran's naval drills despite staging its own war readiness exercise. It says, right, because the United States, they started their multi-day military exercise drills right along with Iran doing their military exercise drills in that same region. And that's crazy. That shows you that the tensions are really heating up between Iran and the United States. It says the U.S. military has issued a formal warning to Iran over its plan of live fire naval exercises in the Strait of Hormuz, if I pronounce that right, while simultaneously conducting a major readiness exercise of its own across in the Middle East, which is Western Asia. It says in a statement released on Friday, it says the U.S. CENTCOM, the U.S. Central Command CENTCOM urged Iran Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, Navy to conduct a 2-day drill beginning on Sunday in a manner that is safe and professional and avoid unnecessary risk. We will not tolerate unsafe IRGC actions, including overflights of U.S. military vessels, engaged in flight operations and low altitude unarmed overnight. The U.S. military assets when intentions are unclear, high-speed boats approaches on a collision course with U.S. military vessels or weapons trained at U.S. Forces Command stated. The warning comes as the U.S. itself executing a large-scale, multi-day military drills around the region. A U.S. Air Force Central AFCNT announced the readiness exercise this week. It says designed to practice and rapid deployment and sustaining sustainment of combat aircraft into various constituency of locations.
Hello, Moto.
Slovakia. It says these right constituency locations. It says these drills are. It said these air drills complement of naval buildup President Donald Trump has publicly championed. There's another beautiful armada. This nigga called it talking about some armada. Nero man, it's Esau, bro. It says this is another beautiful armada floating beautifully towards Iran right now. It says Trump says earlier this week. It says referencing a carrier strike group led by the USS Abraham Lincoln. It says that we have a very it says that we have a lot of very big, very powerful ships sailing to Iran right now. It says it will be great if we don't have to use them. Trump told reporters on Thursday, added that he refers to resolving the tensions diplomatically. He reiterated the two core demands: number one, no nuclear, and number two, stop unaliving protesters. Tehran stated media announced that the exercise following Trump's social media post warnings that a potential next attack will be far worse than the previous U.S. strike, and urging Iran to make a deal. It says Iran responds to the threats with defiance, and the UN mission post. It, it says a warning on social media that while it stands ready for dialogue, it says if pushed, it will defend itself and responds like never before. It says a deputy foreign minister separately claims that the country is 200% ready and will deliver a appropriate response, not a proportionate one potentially targeting U.S. bases, right, which is over there in Syria. It says a Strait from right Iraq and Syria, let's say. It says the Strait of Hormuz were uh, Iran's plans to exercise at a critical checkpoint for global oil shipments, and with roughly 100 merchant vessels transcending daily, CENTCOM statement has acknowledged that Iran's right to operate professionally in the international airspace and borders. Yep, once again, this is Matthews 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but it's not yet. Right, so it's going to come to pass, but not going to end just yet. So we're going to be seeing wars and rumors of wars between these nations of armies, and that's what we're seeing. As it says again, Trump Armada issues a warning to Tehran. The U.S. CENTCOM command is worried about Iran's naval drills despite staging its own readiness of exercise. So these tensions between Iran and Israel is definitely heating up on a daily basis, as we've been saying that countless of times. Because this subject been increasing for the past 2 weeks now, so it's only going to continue to increase. I would say from late December and all the way into now of this year, ever since those protests has been exploding and been heating up over there in Iran. And this is Luke 21 and verse 9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet in by. Right, so these are modern day wars and commotion between the nations are going to continue to increase. And this is St. Mark chapter 13, verse 7, precept to that Matthew 24 chapter, and that Luke 20, verse 9. It says, when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but it's not by and by. Right, so it's going to come to pass. It's not just at and by and by. So with that, this was just a quick sit down lesson number one of Matthew's 24 and verse 6. And that was the title of the sit down lesson on this Friday night, January the 30th, 2026, on this Friday, as I mentioned again. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Say Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Karkadash. And the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders and apostles, Wa'akim, Wa'akrof. Until next time, I would say Shalom.